We are the champions, my friends. Well, not we at all, unless you're a St. Louis Blues fan. These guys are champions in their own right, though. Producer Alyssa manning the computers back there. Director Craig hitting the buttons on the switcher. If anything goes awry, it's his fault. Craig came in here not wearing a shoe this morning.
I was going to say, Craig's curious. Oh, no. Oh, he still has it off. What was the reason he gave again? He said his ankle was hurting.
You recently had some ankle trouble. Blink twice if that's the case. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, right. That was 3 times, but I'm not going to count the third. I hope your Tootsies feel better soon, Craig.
I just thought he was coming off a bender. That's what I prefer to do. It's like, if I didn't hear that answer, I'm just tuning you out.
Kick your shoes off.
No way. He has
like the one shoe, the
tiny,
one
tiny
foot.
baby at home.
Yeah, he's probably running out the door from the baby. Crying.
Sleepy.
It's funny, only our producer Jess noticed that he wasn't wearing a shoe. We didn't even notice. That's a fun thing to try, like a little social experiment. Just show up wearing one shoe one time and see if someone says something. Like, yeah, that's a tough night down in Old Town Scottsdale, huh? Good morning, guys. You ever see shoes down there, by the way? Like, you're strolling the streets like the next day and you're like, wow, those didn't make it home.
It's a scooter casualty.
Yeah.
I see them going by and I'm like, oh, that's not going to be good. And then, yeah.
It's a crazy night when you go out there because you see pieces of hair.
Chunks of someone's weave just torn out and thrown in a bush.
All kinds of items all over the place. I'm like, what is happening?
Back when I lived in Tampa, there was a time we used to play like a Saturday morning basketball game at a park that was pretty close to like a kind of a crazy downtownish, weekend spot. And I was driving in to play basketball on like 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I was stopped at the light, and I thought I saw like a body like next to me on the sidewalk. And I took a closer look, and it was some college kid, shirtless and passed out in like a flower bed. And he kind of like rolled over a little bit, like away from the sunlight. So you could tell he was alive, but obviously had a very rough night and slept outside.
Yes, it happened.
Not great. Speaking of long, long nights, the St. Louis Blues probably haven't gone to bed yet. They're still celebrating.
Yes.
Just a few hours ago, they were hoisting the Stanley Cup on the tarmac after returning to St. Louis. They beat the Boston Bruins last night 4-1 in a decisive Game 7, clinching the Stanley Cup for the first time in their franchise history. Now, if you don't know about the Stanley Cup, the video you're looking at right now, just some of the crazy things that guys who have won it have done with the cup. The tradition is that every member of the team, we're talking the players, the personnel, the front office staff, they get the cup for at least one day to do whatever they want to do with it. Take it where you want. Show it to the people you want. Drink out of it. Eat out of it. Baptize your kid in it. Fill it with hot dogs. Throw it in the pool. Go crazy. So we've been asking the people all morning long, what would you do if you had the Stanley Cup for one full day and could do whatever you wanted?
So I guess you don't have to worry about it getting damaged, right?
Well, you probably shouldn't damage it, but it's taken some dings and it's.
Because I was like, the swimming pool one was both my favorite and the most worrisome. I think.
Legend has it that when the Pittsburgh Penguins won it back, one of their cup wins in the 90s, they had a big party at Mario Lemieux's house. Mario Lemieux was the captain of that team. And I think, oh, no, hold on a second. If I recall correctly, I could just be lying to you. This was actually when they won it while Mario was in the front office, because that's why it was funny. They went and had a party at the team owner / president's house, and they threw it in his pool, and it sunk to the bottom, and they had a big party with it there. But anyway, that's just one of the strange things. The people this morning have been absolutely hilarious with it. The things they would eat out of it, the things they do, the places they take it. You might not want to eat out of it, though, considering all that's been in there.
They said a baby pooped in there.
Yeah, at least one baby has pooped in it. Probably several adults, too, honestly. We just
don't want to have baby poop's the cleanest thing you'll eat.
That's a weird thing to say.
Well, we got 2 moms on the couch. I don't know what's going on.
Terrible comment. My husband would be like with like when the babies would pee or would get on you or whatever. He's like, this is the cleanest thing. It's literally there's nothing.
I mean, because they don't have any. No. Yeah, they're not painting their bodies yet.
We should have Will Pitts do one of his swab stories.
Oh, no.
The dirty stories that he does.
The filth finder.
Thank you. I couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
I'm posing the question right now in the chat, guys. What would you do with the cup if you had it for one single day? Reply there. We'll read some of the best responses. What about you, Rachel? What would you do with the cup?
So I said I would fill it with champagne, obviously, and then I would like to take it on a flight with me and have it. You have to be first class, of course.
You have to buy a ticket.
I buy a ticket for it. I'm guessing I get some money from winning the Stanley Cup. So I would just sit it next to me and then just have a little straw and sip. And then I think you just take it around town. You go to the bar, you put it there, you go visit friends,
eat
you
dinner with it. You're like, excuse me.
I'm just picturing you turning in all your Southwest coupons and you're like, just pour them in there. Just pour them in Stanley.
Here. And yeah, it would be like one of those fish bowls when you go to the bars and they have everybody.
Yeah, where everybody shares it.
I'll share.
You'll have to get your extra long straw for when you recline.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that it, like,
fabulous.
stretches out.
But yeah, I think you
Sounds
just
lovely.
have to take it with you literally everywhere.
I would want to do something with the cup that's never been done with it, though. But that's hard to figure out. You know, one of the legends of the cup is that in the early days, back before it was that size, it was just the chalice and a couple of rings. A player's mother mistook it for a flower pot. And while the player was gone, planted something in it.
Oh my gosh.
And they couldn't find the cup. It was like a crisis. Like the guys couldn't figure out where it went. You can imagine a bunch of drunk 20 and 30-year-olds trying to track down a missing priceless piece of sports memorabilia and then to discover that a player's mom had turned it into a flower pot. Pretty
These
funny
pictures
stuff.
are great. I love seeing what everybody does. But yeah, it's hard to be totally
baby one.
unique with this one.
It's perfect size.
That's
to
because
sit
how
on.
heavy is it?
It's 45 pounds.
45 pounds.
Some players will tell you that it is the perfect weight to hoist over your head, and that's the way that they designed it. So you see that there are 4 rings down there on the cup, like 4 main rings. So when one of those rings fills up, they take it off the cup and then place that ring in the Hockey Hall of Fame and then put a new ring on it. The tradition is that every player who wins the cup gets his name inscribed on the trophy. But if you left every player's name that had ever won the cup on there, the trophy would be way too big. You wouldn't be able to lift it. If I'm not mistaken, there are now 4 rings that are permanently off the cup and displayed in the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Ontario, including all of the rings with Gordie Howe's name on it. If you guys are longtime hockey fans, you recognize Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, who recently passed away. His name is actually not on the Stanley Cup anymore. Every single time his name appears on it is on one of the rings that's been removed. Fun fact for you.
I believe that was just Daniel Carcillo that we saw pop up with the baby.
Danny Carcillo, yeah.
He used to play here.
Yeah, former
Super nice
Flyer,
guy.
former Blackhawk, former
Yeah,
Coyote.
I was like, he
Yeah.
looks familiar. He was great.
I believe
Tasmanian
Carcillo
Devil.
actually played for the Blues, too. Not at the right time.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the same idea
That's
as you,
cool.
Rachel. They said they are going to drink out of it for the day. They're going to make a margarita for the whole family.
Yeah,
That's from
there's
Noah.
that fishbowl.
Like Marissa says, sangria and then relax on the beach. Very good choice.
I like Diana.
But that has to be a white sangria, you know.
Right,
If you're doing
obviously.
beach coffee. I mean,
Daytime drinking.
red is for winter.
Diana says,
your
I'm not a
picture.
showy person. I just put it aside. Sorry to be boring. Maybe take a couple pictures with it, Diana.
If you're trying to do something really unique, I would like put it in a wedding or something. Has anybody done that yet? Like,
I'm not sure if it's
that
been
would
in a
be
wedding.
Cool.
That would
It
make
be
sense.
like a
Good idea.
cake topper, like a really, really heavy cake topper.
The chocolate
you
fountain.
can make it
Yeah.
happen.
or maybe it holds the wedding rings, right? The couple's rings
That's
instead of you put it in the middle.
Mike says
Skydiving. Wow.
skydiving.
I like that.
Heavy.
That's some
Like another-
liability
it would
there.
go in
Yeah.
tandem.
So I was going to say, because we need the cup to come to Phoenix at some point for the Yotes, so we're
Yeah.
still rooting for that. But you could hike the tallest point in Arizona with it. Strap it on your back.
Throwing that
You
up.
guys could do that.
Better
Put
not
some
do that
dirt
in the
inside from the top of
summertime.
the mountain.
I have a hard
wait till
enough time
fall.
coming up Piesto. I don't need to
know.
be carrying the Stanley Cup.
Do it
on
in
my back.
Flagstaff.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
That'll do
go.
it too.
I like Monica. She said lots of shrimp with salsa. I would do chips and salsa. Lots of
Shrimp
chips.
with the
lots of tacos.
cocktail sauce. I feel like it's a very fancy serving.
Oh, it's all been done. It always cracks me up. So like this is going to sound a little corny, but I'm obviously a big hockey fan. If you couldn't tell by how excited I've been about the whole Stanley Cup discussion. It's like a tradition that I stay up and watch some of the post-game celebration
Yeah.
after the cup is won. I kind of equate it to like my mom and her sister like getting on the phone during the Oscars back in the day. Like, oh my gosh, can you believe what she is wearing right now? That's me, but with the Stanley Cup final. You know, like I needed
you're
to
by
go to
yourself.
bed. Yeah, right. Generally, I needed to go to bed last night, but I was like too excited to see the excitement on the faces of the guys who had just claimed. It's the hardest trophy in pro sports to win. To win the Super Bowl, you got to win sometimes as few as 3 playoff games. To win the Stanley Cup, you've got to win 16 playoff games.
Wow.
Be a victor in 4 best-of-7 series against the best of the best of the best. It is just such a grueling exercise. Like the injuries that always come out after the Cup final's done, like guys playing with broken ribs. Zdeno Chara, the captain of the Bruins, was playing with a broken jaw. His face was fused
crazy.
together. Like this is how important it is to these
players are
guys.
hard. hardcore.
They are. They're tough customers.
Well, yeah, they lose their teeth.
Yeah, they're all like, when they smile at the end of the season, they're all jack-o'-lanterns.
Remember we asked Shane Doan? I'm like, do you have missing or like all your teeth? He goes, oh no, like all these are fake on top.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
A lot of the guys during their careers won't even have their teeth fixed. Like they'll just let them go, for example.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like Brett Burns of the San Jose Sharks. I think he's missing like the front 6 or something now. Like he looks
Why would
hilarious.
you mess with it?
Well, right. Why get it fixed if you're one
Just
deflection
wait till
away
the
from
end.
losing them again?
I know.
Ow, that would hurt.
It would just be kind of
so
annoying when you
bad.
eat.
Hurt.
Yeah. Jen, you're a little transient like myself. Where would you take the cup? You know, you've been a lot
You're
of
not
places.
a transient, are you transient? I thought you were from here.
I have a house.
Oh no, now you do. But I'm saying you've worked and been and
Yeah,
you've
I'm
been
kidding.
around
I'm
a little
totally
bit.
kidding. Yeah, so
I have a house. I'm not homeless.
New segment. Jen, find a home.
I
Like, what are you talking about? I just got to
Lay
build.
her head.
that's where my hiking idea came in because, we're from here, but we lived in Tahoe area for a really long time. And so I would just hike with it. Seriously, I think that'd be so cool to stand on the highest peak, to sign the little book, get a little dirt, put it in the cup, and take it down. And especially if you're fit, you're a hockey player, you could totally rock it, I think. I
I just want to show it off to like all the people that wouldn't get to see it. I love this comment here. Let me see if I can find it one more time. Oh man, sorry. Oh, Misha says I would put flowers in it from my floral shop and let it stay in a hospice unit for the residents to enjoy. It's like that kind of thing. Like I'd want to take it to the places it's never been and show it to people that have never seen it.
Let people touch it. It's,
We had a
it's
viewer
amazing.
text that in this morning and said I would want to take it to the rinks. Ryan Travis, actually a big fan of the show, said I would like to take it to the Arizona hockey rinks here, to the little kids to show off the
Little
legacy of that
inspo.
trophy.
That's cute.
All right, let's take a quick break from the trophy discussion and get to our ICYMI. If you didn't watch Today in AZ this morning, you might have seen Mitch Carr just a little out of his element.
I'm Mitch Carr coming to you live from inside a wind tunnel. Just kidding, I'm outside. I've got this flight certificate, which means that I am certified to go within there. So I'm gonna give this microphone to Raleigh, and I'm gonna join Nathan in there. So why don't you take all this?
Yep.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Say goodbye to Mitch Carr, everybody.
All right, I wonder what he had for breakfast. We're curious at this.
Oh, we might find out if it's splattered on the walls in there. I like how he's got a very Evel Knievel look.
Yes.
About to pull this
He
stuff.
looks confident. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. He's getting a little instruction from his flight school instructor there. Keep
Just
your
do
arms
this
up.
with your arms.
It's all about the form, and he's up. He's in, people.
It's like doing a plank at the gym, but probably a little easier.
Oh, he's assist. Oh, just by the back.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, hey, thumbs up. I think he likes it.
You know what this reminds me of? It's Willy Wonka, when you drink the fizzy lifting drink and it just takes you to the ceiling. That's like this, but in
Oh, there
real
he
life.
goes. Oh, my gosh.
No, Mitch, you'll always have a golden
fun.
ticket in my heart. They said he was allowed to go in there 3 times, 3 different 1-minute sessions flying around.
But now he's not feeling great.
I would get so
He
sick.
says
I
he's
would
a
get
little
so
off.
Sore too.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you're
like
trying to hold
a
your
workout.
body out
Yeah.
while you're doing
That
it.
might feel good though. A nice little back stretch.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. And I did it a couple weeks ago for the other show that I work for, and we went in there, and actually my co-host wouldn't even do it. Like I was the brave one to do it. He was like, I'm not going in.
J.R. Cardenas would not
JR,
do it.
yeah, because we did it, another one in Yuma, and that one was a little bit different because it was more outside. And the minute he went in, he's like, I hurt my back, and like came out. So they were like, oh, you don't have to do it. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm the one doing it. But no, it takes a lot of work. But the thing is, you're only in there for a minute. But still, when you're walking in, you're like, you have your helmet on, and you can't see and you can't feel. So it's kind of scary. And then they have another one, which is virtual reality, where you put a mask on and it seems like you're flying over Hawaii or something. And
no,
that
that's
was scary. It was cool, but I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like, you still feel weird. So it's a really cool experience to check out with the family.
Did you feel sick or no?
I had a headache afterwards, but I didn't get sore. But but I could see how you could because you're holding yourself up and they're trying to tell you. There's like certain movements you have to put like your thumbs up, or they'll tell you to do something to go up and put your legs down, and it's like all these motions that you have to follow to see what you're doing next.
The headache is probably just stress, you freaking out about the whole
Yeah,
thing. But Mitch said his neck was sore afterwards, so that might have been part of it too, like trying to support it as you're being blown upwards.
But they only keep you in there for a minute or two
Yeah.
at the time you're
Fly for
done.
a minute
so.
at a time. It probably feels like a super long minute though. Like a TV minute.
I'm like, okay. And the other one I did, you just wore goggles, so I had drool everywhere all over my face.
Realize that where you see like the cartoons where your lips are all going like this.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I was nervous. But this one, they put a whole mask on you, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's better.
Got a couple more
Date
suggestions.
suggestion, right?
We got a couple more suggestions for the Stanley Cup. This from Martha. Take it to Frankfort, Michigan. Stop at the bakery. Is it still there? She wonders aloud. Get trolley bun and coffee. Fill the cup with your favorite drink. Go to the beach. Sit and enjoy the lake.
Oh, man.
Build a little sandcastle in there, maybe. Mary says we're doing a good job and she likes 12 News. Well, Mary,
thank you.
you're very sweet. Thanks for sharing some love this morning.
We have a lot of people just saying that good morning, hello.
morning.
They're
Good
watching
morning
from
to
different places.
People start to perk up on Thursdays because
Yes.
it's like you can taste that weekend.
It's around the corner.
About to sink your teeth
I don't
into
care
it.
if it's hot as blazes. It's going to be the weekend.
Right.
We have people tuning in from Florida, Heber, Arizona.
Oh, Heber, woohoo.
Shout out to
We spend a
Heber.
lot of time in Heber. I love it up there, guys. Seriously, it's
You have family up
amazing.
there. Do you have family up there?
My parents have a
Yeah,
cabin up
see,
there.
yeah.
It is so much fun. I know, we are all over the place.
Well, I knew she was from here originally, but I was like, what? But she's worked all over.
Jen and I
what
both
you
worked
meant.
in Boise.
So
I was
funny.
trying to get her to say she'd bring the cup back to Boise, but she doesn't care about the folks at KBOI. out
I
there.
love me some KBOI. I
Uh-huh.
just, Tahoe, it's tough to beat that place. I'm
Oh, it's
sorry,
gorgeous.
it stole my heart.
It's going to be better Instagram pictures in Tahoe. I think.
True.
They're selling me on the whole Boise thing.
You need to come check it out.
Never been.
You got to go to the river, do some river rafting.
They're hating. I don't get it. I don't get the Boise hate.
It's fun.
It's not on your, like,
But that's because
30
you don't
list
know
of
about it. It's a hidden
places.
secret. It's not because it's a little podunk potato town. It's not that.
Apparently.
They
Do you
say
like country music?
Yeah.
You got to go to Dirty Little Roddy's if it's still
Oh,
there. I don't
Roddy.
even
No,
know.
Roddy's is still there, by the way. It's different now, though.
Yeah?
They have DJs and they don't play
Oh,
country music.
that's no fun.
It's kind of, it's a
man.
bummer. The last time I was in there, I was like, I came here to hear Fishing in the Dark at closing time, and they're not going to play it.
Oh, man.
no.
Oh,
But they say in 10 years, it's going to be like Austin, Texas. It's
could
the
see that.
fastest growing city in the country right now.
They have an amazing river. They have huge trees. Everybody just gets off work, goes river rafting in the summer because you're done by 4 or 5. You can be on the river till 9 p.m. You get off, you go home. I mean, nobody really lives more than 20, 30
We're working the
minutes away from
Tourism
the
Bureau
river.
in
Guys,
Boise
you
now.
are.
anyway.
You're
Right.
Chamber of Commerce.
Give us a cut.
Field trip.
Let's do some fresh squeezed juice, shall we?
Sounds good to me. You know, we like talking about relationships and love lives. So when you shack up with your partners, turns out you're also annoying them.
Partners, plural.
Duh. A new survey reveals men and women's biggest pet peeves about living with their significant other. So for men, they're most annoyed by messy partners and someone who's spending too much time on non-essentials. For women, are also frustrated by a messy partner, along with a partner who snores too loud,
Yep.
and someone who doesn't help with the cleaning. Oh, that is a big no-no.
That's a good way to get evicted.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Snoring is horrible. Like, seriously.
Horrible.
The worst.
I mean,
But I don't think it's a deal breaker. Well,
well, you can't be a deal breaker. Like, what would you do? Like,
I'm not going to divorce you because
yeah,
you snore.
because you're snoring.
Well, it depends on the type of snoring. If someone has
Yeah.
apnea, they can get a mask or take stuff for it. I get it. As a guy who occasionally snores, or so I've been told, just roll me over.
Yeah,
yeah, you
exactly.
just have to move.
Give me the old, hey,
I
dummy.
kick-
doesn't
I kick
always
my
work.
husband, or I stick both fingers.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
No, not the full finger. I just do the nuts, and I'm like, boop, and
That's a
he
new one.
stops. He rolls over. It
Jen, you
works
said it
great.
doesn't always work. though.
No, I kick my husband so hard. I love you, honey. Sometimes I wonder if you have bruises. He doesn't even remember in the morning. I'm
No,
like, do you
they don't
remember when I was
remember.
kicking you? No. And he's sleeping away, and I'm just like, you son of a.
Great way to vent your frustrations out in the middle of the night, though.
So
Beating them up.
I do have a
definitely kicked
solution,
her.
though. I get the
What?
sound app on my phone, and I learned this weekend if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you can hook it up to the Bluetooth speaker, and it's even louder in your room, and it drowns out all of the noises, the snoring, and helps the kids sleep.
Yeah.
Win,
The
win,
sleep
win.
sounds are
Yeah.
good.
So
I like that. That's a good idea.
What
helpful
annoys you
tips.
about a partner, guys?
I know I've heard a lot of guys say that they hate that women, our hair is everywhere. Like in the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
women's
You
hair
know, it
is
sheds
everywhere.
like in the bathroom and on the couches. And
I
like,
know.
your
How
hair
many
is
times you
everywhere.
have to unclog the sink?
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry. Shedding.
can't really help it.
Again.
Hey, we gotta
What's
look
a deal
pretty
breaker
over.
for you?
Messiness would be for me.
Cohabitating.
Like I'm a clean guy, and like when things aren't clean, it means my mental state is bad. Like just almost universally. Like if my apartment's a mess, it's because I'm off upstairs.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like it's like a symbiotic relationship. Like if I clean the apartment, my mental state improves. You know what I mean? Like it's clean body, clean
Yep.
mind kind of thought. So somebody that kept things messy and cluttery, like I'm not sure I could deal with that. My OCD would
think
kick
that's a
in.
good
I'm getting
match.
squirmy just thinking about
I know.
it. Actually.
I don't think a truly messy person can be with a clean person. I mean,
Yeah.
how would
It's
that
hard.
ever work?
I did date a guy for a while who I was like, dude, I don't understand. Like, in his truck, there was stuff everywhere, like
Ugh.
clothes and things. And I'm like, take it out of your truck and like make it, And then when he would stay over, like his clothes would be everywhere. And I'm like, your shoes are in the living room, your pants are in the other area. Like, can you just like keep it in one place? He's like, I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, no, it is a big deal. Like, yeah. So it doesn't. People don't mesh well.
It's like messy dishes, like laundry on the floor. Because I deal with the kids. It's just one of those things in life you deal with. But it's when people keep a messy kitchen.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that's just gross.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I
can't do gross
bed
messes.
with dirty dishes in the sink. I have some friends who do that, and I'm like, that is so. I couldn't sleep. I'd be thinking about it the whole time. No, messy kitchens to me would be like that's just.
Who's the clean one out of your relationship?
We both are,
I'd say.
honestly. Yeah, we both are.
So it's twice as clean then.
Yeah.
You go in their house.
You kind of have to be because it's the two of us and then 2 kids, so it's like us against them.
Yeah.
That's really what we do most of the time.
That makes sense.
It's just
Makes
like
sense.
try to team up so we can get them to be better or more helpful around the
I
house.
had a male roommate who used to just let the car, like you talked about.
Yeah, the
like
car
that
thing is-
that thing drove me nuts.
Right?
Like we used to carpool to basketball. We worked together too, so we'd carpool to work. But every time we take his car, I'd be like,
Gosh, no.
it was like Jumanji in there. Like you had no idea what was gonna come running around the corner. Like, why do you need 7 pairs of basketball shorts in your back seat?
And
Throw
they're
one in a gym
sweaty.
bag.
You know, they're sweaty, they're dirty, they've been in there. So,
old
when people are
McDonald's
like, oh,
bags.
get on in the car, and then they have to do this.
Oh, the
all this
sweep.
stuff. So
There you go, hop in.
Fine. Up, save the spot for you. Like, gross.
That would be like a no-go on like a first date. Imagine trying to
I
get into
agree
a
with
car
that.
like that and being like, oh, wow, this is
No, I've
insane.
seen some girls who have really messy cars, and it is not a good
Yeah,
sight.
You guys,
My
just
mom,
don't look at
if
my
you're
car
watching.
when you. I have the plastic bags that I need to recycle at the grocery store that I've been needing to do for a week, like in the back seat. I'm like, someone's gonna think I don't have a home.
The transient gin wall. It all comes full circle.
Oh, pretty sure we have some fruit snack wrappers. I'm just always running. Like I just
during
don't.
the dark days where
It is dark.
You're gonna have. I mean, we have crusted Cheerios and Goldfish way back. My husband found a Gatorade there the other day. I
Was
mean,
it
who knows
open?
How long? No.
Oh, so free Gatorade.
Thank God. No, my gosh, it's in the sun. But yeah, when you have kids, it's just a dark time. It's just a dark time.
This is funny. Charles says he doesn't like car pigs either. He says Mary Maids is your friend if you're a dirty guy, by the way. And Diana says sometimes she doesn't know if it's him or the dog snoring. So thank goodness for
blame it
the
on the
dogs,
dog.
Diana. Yeah. Anytime you can blame it on the dog, that's a good thing.
You just roll them over.
Time for us to wrap it up, guys. I know.
Went by so fast.
I'm so sorry.
Today.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Look at that.
Thanks to everyone who weighed in. One more edition of the After Show this week, and then we all get to enjoy the weekend.
We're ready for Friday.
See you at 7:30
Yes.
tomorrow. Be good, people.